Hello, hello. All right, all right. This is going to be the last court of the night. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, what up, Coco? Shh, there it is. Let's see who is going to be in front of the judge today. Or for the night, if you will. What up, what up? How is everybody doing today? Or this night? Or, you know, it might not even be night where you guys are at. You guys might be across the world. It might be the morning. It might be breakfast. You never know. 2 a.m. writes. 2 a.m. Coco.
Johnson. The first one is an FOJ, and he's got additional charges, so let's take this paperwork for his additional charges.
Thank you. Basically, all right.
Please be seated. All right. This is the 11 p.m. calendar for March the 10th. The court's orders for the taking of fingerprints and DNA samples made on the first calendar, first day of the month, will apply to all the matters on this calendar. We're going to take we have a fugitive justice case first. So we're going to take Tremaine Allen.
And this is just starting right now. So you guys haven't missed nothing yet.
Good evening, sir. Please state your name.
Tremaine Russell Allen.
And your date of birth, sir.
October 17th, 1999.
All right. A warrant was issued for your arrest from the state of Minnesota. That state indicates they want you back on the warrant.
We're back.
Do you have the laminated card? Can we give him a laminated card to look at? Yes, the laminated card. Well, okay. That's right there on the counter. Okay. Did you get a chance to look at that laminated card about your rights as far as the...
Yes, sir.
All
But
right.
Pacific time zone.
So as I've stated, you have a warrant for the state of Minnesota. You have a choice to make at this time. You can choose your waive to waive your right to extradition and go back to Minnesota. They would have to come back and get you within 30 days, or you can demand an extradition hearing and that a governor's warrant be issued. So the governors of both states would have to sign the warrant in order to take you back to Minnesota. If you choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing, you'll be held non-bondable in Maricopa County for a period of up to 30 days to allow time for Minnesota to come and get you. That 30-day period would start tomorrow, as long as you do not have any criminal charges pending against you in Arizona. But you have charges pending against you in Arizona, which we're going to get to in a minute.
Yes, sir.
If you choose to have an extradition hearing, I'll set a hearing at a date here in the Superior Court, and we'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your right to extradition, or do you would rather have it set for a hearing?
I don't know. I'd rather talk to my counsel.
All right, so we'll just put you down at this point as not waiving it. You can waive it at some point in the future after you've talked to your public defender and all of that.
Thank you.
All right, so let's take that matter first. The FOJ is actually number 27 on the calendar. On that case, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your next court date on that case will be a fugitive justice hearing, initial hearing on February the 24th at 1:30 in the Superior Court at 201 West Jefferson. At this point, a secured appearance bond on the fugitive justice case will be set in the amount of $5,000. If you post the bond, you're not to have any contact with any alleged complainant or witness. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You must continue to provide proof of your local address. Since you're currently on probation, if you do post the bond on all of your cases, you'd have to contact the probation department within 72 hours of your release. All right, now let's get to the 2025 matter on the calendar, number 26. On that case, you're charged with aggravated assault, a Class 6 felony, and misdemeanor assault, a Class 3 misdemeanor. Once again, the public defender has been appointed to represent you on that case. Your next court date on that case, and I have found probable cause, your next court date on that will be a status conference on March the 17th at 8:30 with a preliminary hearing on March the 19th at 8:30. On that case, there's also been a bond set of $5,000. I understand this happened, I believe it was your mother's house.
Yes.
While this case is pending, you're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to have any contact with any alleged victims or witnesses. You're not to initiate contact with any arresting officers. Once again, you're not to possess any weapons. And the other release conditions are the same as your release conditions on your other FOJ case. Next, number 31 on the calendar is a probation violation. Based upon your new arrest, there's been a petition to revoke your probation. You're on probation for a Class 2 felony. On that case, there's also been a secured appearance bond of $5,000. Your next court date on that case will be a probation revocation. I've also appointed the public defender to represent you. Your next court date on that will be a revocation, arraignment, and possible disposition hearing on March the 17th at 8:30. Once again, the same release conditions apply also as to all of them. If you post bonds, you contact the probation department. Lastly, number 32 on the calendar, the 2023 matter. It's also another probation violation for a Class 5 felony. The bond that has been set on that case is $2,500. The court dates are the same as your other probation violation, which is March 17th at 8:30. Once again, the public defender has been appointed to represent you, and all of the same release conditions apply.
Hey, thank you.
Do you have any questions about your 4 cases, sir?
I do, but none in which you would probably be able to answer by tonight. So.
And you're probably right, sir, but your attorney will be able to answer a lot of questions.
Thank you.
All right. The officer will give you some paperwork, sir. All right, we're going to proceed in the following matter. We're going to call 2 people at a time. The first person will come up to the podium. The second person will sit in the chair by the door. So the first person we want to see is Cameron Beatty, and then Michael Rollins, if he could sit in the chair by the door.
So this is Maricopa County. These are the initial appearances, and this is live. This is actually happening right now in real time. The audio and the video is it's a little bit delayed right now.
Sir, if you could sit in the chair on the other side of the... All right, sir, and your date of birth.
12/05/06.
All right. All right, sir, you've been charged with unlawful distribution of images. It's a Class 4 felony. This is a out-of-county warrant from the Pima County Justice Court. They've set a bond, the other county set a bond that I'm just affirming of $15,000. Your next court date will be an arraignment hearing on March the 13th in the Pima Consolidated Justice Court down in Tucson. If you post the bond, you have no contact with any alleged victims or witnesses. You're not to have any contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. And you must continue to provide proof of your local address. Do you have any questions, sir?
I could post bond tonight.
You could. It's $15,000 secured appearance bond.
You ain't going nowhere.
It has to be the whole $15,000 or
No, it's
the 10%.
Okay. It's not a cash-only bond. A cash-only bond means you have to put up the entire $15,000. A secured appearance bond means you can go through a bonding company, put up 10% plus some collateral, and then they could bond you out.
Okay. Thank you.
The officer will give you some paperwork, sir.
Thank you, boss.
All right, Mr. Rollins, and then Bailey. Oh man, Markovich.
Come again, Your
I know I
Honor.
murdered your name.
Come again.
Sir, please state your name.
Michael Kent Rollins,
Okay, and your date of birth, sir.
7/25/1980.
All right, so you're here on a grand jury warrant. The grand jury, when they issued the warrant, set a bond of $1,500,000 cash only bond. So the grand jury set that bond. You're charged with illegal control of an enterprise, class 3 felony, multiple counts of theft, and fraudulent schemes and artifices. There has been an appointed public defender appointed to represent you. Your next court date on this case will be a not guilty arraignment hearing in the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix on March the 18th at 8:30. If you post the bond, I know. You're not to initiate any contact with any victims or witnesses or any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You must continue to provide proof of your local address. Do you have any questions, sir?
No.
Your attorney, when they meet with you, they can talk to you about trying to get the bond reduced, but the bond was set by the grand jury, so I have to affirm it. All right. The officer will give you some paperwork, sir.
Damn, they don't want him to go anywhere. They gave him $1 million bond.
Bailey.
Better kiss his ass.
Followed by
Goodbye.
Jessica Palumbo.
Colombo. All right, all right.
Good evening, please
Good
state your
evening,
name.
sir. Bailey Monakichevich,
Okay, that's a tough one. And your date of birth.
2/21/1995.
Okay, you've been charged with aggravated assault of class 3 felony, misdemeanor assault of class 1 misdemeanor, and misdemeanor criminal damage. I have found probable cause as to those charges. I've appointed the public defender to represent you. At this point, I'm going to release you to pretrial services. That will require you to keep in contact with them. So you'll need to do everything that they tell you to do. At this point, you have no contact with the alleged victim at all. If he contacts you, you're not to contact him or respond at any point until given permission by the court. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to have any contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription. And you must continue to provide proof of your local address. Your next court date on this matter will be a status conference on March 25th at 8:30 with a preliminary hearing on March 27th at 8:30. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
What are my release conditions?
Pretrial services, which basically means they help you get to court. You just have to check in with them and follow their directions. The officer will have an envelope which has directions on how to contact them. You must keep in contact with them, and you must follow all of the orders of the court. Do you understand that?
I do.
All right, the officer will give you some paperwork. You step right over there.
Hey, you know what? I love this. I love
All
this
right,
UK
Jessica
account.
Palumbo, followed by Alonzo Walker.
Hey, I'm glad I opened this UK account up because this UK account, man, it brings in people from the UK, from Australia, from New Zealand. My American one does not do that. So I like this UK account right here. I appreciate you guys from Calgary. That's right, Canada. Hell
Ma'am,
yeah.
please state your name
Jessica Palumbo,
and your date of birth.
9/29/94.
All right, ma'am, you're here on 3 cases. First, number 8 on the calendar. You're charged with possession of drug paraphernalia, class 1 misdemeanor. It's a justice court warrant that was issued by the West Mesa Justice Court. I have found you to be indigent. An attorney will be appointed to represent you at your next court date. I've set a bond. They've requested a bond. I've set it slightly lower. The bond is set, in this case, of $250. If you post the bond, you're not to have any contact with any arresting officers, possess any drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. You continue to provide an address and live there while the case is pending. Your next court date on this matter is an arraignment hearing on March the 13th at 8:30 in the West Mesa Justice Court.
Okay.
You have a new case in the 2025 matter. On that case, you're charged with possession of narcotic drugs, a class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony, and criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, a class 3 misdemeanor. As to the possession of narcotic drugs and possession of drug paraphernalia, based upon the information I was provided by the police in the Form 4, I was not able to find probable cause as to those counts.
11 p.m.
I have appointed the public defender to represent you on this case. Your next court date on this case will be a status conference on March the 25th and a preliminary hearing on March the 27th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court at 175 West Madison. On this case, you're released on your own recognizance because I didn't find probable cause as to the felony charges. All right, lastly, in number 10 on the calendar, you're here on a shoplifting warrant out of Apache Junction Municipal Court. The secured appearance bond in that case has been set in the amount of $250.
Thank you.
At this point, I'm not appointing attorney to represent you. Your next court date on that case is an arraignment hearing on March the 13th at 8:30 in the Apache Junction Municipal Court. If you post the bond on these matters, you're not to return to the scene. Excuse me? I must have been. On this case, if you post bond, you're not to return to the alleged shoplifting location. You're not to have any contact with the arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without any valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You must continue to provide the court with proof of your local address. Do you have any questions on these three matters, ma'am?
No.
All right. Then you need to step over there. All right, Alonzo Walker.
Hey, there's a first time for everything. Hey, I wish I could make this stuff up, but this is real time. This is happening around. This is night court.
State your name.
Alonzo Walker, 51086.
All right, sir, you're here on two cases.
Damn, what happened to this dude? Arizona.
You're here on a warrant in the number 16 matter for possession of narcotic drugs, class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony. I have appointed the public defender to represent you. I think they've already been appointed. Your next court date on this case will be a status conference on March 17th and a preliminary hearing on March the 19th in the downtown Superior Court. Your bond on this case has been set in the amount of $1,500 as a secured appearance bond. If you post the bond, you have no contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. And you continue to provide the court with proof of your local address. On number 17, you're charged with possessing dangerous drugs, a class 4 felony, possessing narcotic drugs, a class 4 felony, and possessing drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony. Once again, the public defender has been appointed to represent you. The bond on this case is the same as the other bond. It's $1,500 secured appearance bond. The release conditions are identical. Your next court date on this case will be a status conference on March 17th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on March 19th at 8:30 in the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix.
Where do you find this video?
Yep.
I can't tell you where I find these videos at. You know what I'm saying? Then you're going to start doing the same thing I'm doing.
Followed by Marcos Figueroa.
Can't do that. Hey, thank you guys. Hey, what up, Lynn?
In the courtroom.
Hey, you know what? Every time somebody comes and they ask that, I see them, they start doing the same thing that I'm doing. So, hey, I don't be sharing this information right here. You know, it's easy to find, but I'm not going to share. I'm not going to help you guys out.
Step up to the podium and tell me your name.
Perry Seidner.
And your date of birth.
12/26/81.
All right, sir, you're here on the charges of possession of dangerous drugs of class 4 felony and possession of narcotic drugs of class 4 felony, as well as possession of
it's PM for me.
Drug paraphernalia class 6 felony. The court has found probable cause as to the possession of dangerous drugs and possession of drug paraphernalia. The court has found that you are indigent and appointed the public defender to represent you. On this case, your bond has been set in the amount of $1,500 as a secured appearance bond.
2 a.m.
If you post the bond, you're not to have any contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court with proof of your local address. Your next court date on this case will be a status conference on March the 17th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on March the 19th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court complex. Do you have any questions, sir?
Okay. 2 a.m. crew.
Okay. The officer will give us the paperwork. Mr. Figueroa, followed by David Arriaga.
Hey, I haven't got enough sleep. Maybe I got like 4 hours of sleep, and man, I was up for a long time yesterday. Man, we're up
Sir, please
on
state
that
your
live
name.
for 6 hours.
Marcos Figueroa, 11/1995.
Thank you, sir. Sir, you're here on 2 cases. The first is the 2025 matter, number 25 on the calendar. You're charged with possessing narcotic drugs, class 4 felony, possessing drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony. The court found probable cause as to those charges. At this point, the public defender is appointed to represent you. Your bond on this case is a secured appearance bond of $500. Your next court date on this case is a status conference on March the 17th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on March the 19th, also at 8:30, in the Superior Court at 175 West Madison. If you post the bond, you have no contact with any arresting officers. You're not to have any drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. And you continue to provide the court with proof of your local address. Because you're currently on probation, you'd have to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. The other matter, number 30, is a probation violation for a class 4 felony. Once again, the public defender has been appointed to represent you. On this case, there's been a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $750. Your next court date on this case will be a probation revocation hearing on March the 17th at 8:30, and a possible disposition hearing also on March the 17th at 8:30.
That is right, Faith.
The release conditions are the same as your other case. Do you have any questions about these 2 cases, sir?
Yeah, how did I just got reinstated for probation violation on November 14th or 15th.
And I saw that.
So
when they arrest you on this case, even though the charge is, I think, from November, when you're arrested on a new case, it triggers a page 2 on the probation violation because it's a term 1 violation.
okay, so I got sentenced to 4 months. So
I understand you got sentenced to 4 months. I checked all of the paperwork.
wow.
So you could be sentenced to more time because you've been charged with a new offense.
You're going to prison, my boy.
Okay? But your attorney will be able to explain all of that, but the officer will give you the paperwork, sir. Good luck. David Arriaga, followed by Shelby Chavez.
Up next on The Price is Wrong. Let's see who's coming up next and what kind of charges they're going to be having tonight. Most likely, it might be some rugs.
David Arriaga.
Okay. And your date of birth?
October 7, 1976.
Yeah.
We have an interpreter.
I didn't see the interpreter symbol on there.
It says, I was exposed, so you might need to refresh it.
Oh, fine, I don't care. I just the interpreter on the line? Okay. Do we have an interpreter on the line?
Sí, aquí estoy. Señor, ¿cómo se llama? Excuse me, what's
Hello?
your name? Hey, what's up from Dublin, Ireland?
Is there an
Hell
interpreter
yeah.
present?
Hello?
What up, Zoe?
You guys hear me?
Sí.
I can hear you now, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I wasn't aware that Mr. Aga needed an interpreter, so we'll basically start over again. Well, he already gave his name. Can you ask him his date of birth?
¿Su fecha de nacimiento, compa?
¿Su fecha de nacimiento, señor?
7 de octubre de 1976.
October 7th of 76?
All right. So you've been charged with theft of means of transportation, a class 3 felony.
He stole the car. Señor, está
Ok, señor,
cargado.
entonces eso ha sido...
Robo de carro. She hung up. She's like, I'm out of here. I don't know how to interpret. Let me
Did we
hang
lose the
up.
interpreter?
She's gone. She shook.
I can't imagine.
She said, screw
Just
this.
kidding,
I'm
though.
out. I don't need this in my life. Hey, these interpreters, they be doing stuff like that, man. They're like some really like low quality. It's like if they found them at Temu or what is the other one? That other place that everybody be buying stuff at. I forgot the name of it. I know the girls. You guys know what it is. The name of that place. Sheen, yeah, Sheen. That's the one. Yeah. Ay. Hey, so I'm going to take this opportunity for those of you guys that like to watch these. you guys should check out my YT page. It also has the same name at CollectCallFrom, and that's where I archive all these hearings at. Parole board hearings, court hearings, everything's over there. So if you're feeling kind of lonely and something to do, just jump on over there, man. We got hundreds of hours of footage that you guys could go ahead and stay entertained over there. Not only do I do these hearings here too, we also talk to prisoners from the state of California. So we got a whole different mix of bag over here that you could go ahead and watch over your parole board hearing, court hearings, interviews, video visits from prison in California. So we got a little bit of all. We do a little bit of everything over here. So if you ever don't see me on here, even if I'm not on TT, I might be running on YT. The only thing is I might not be interacting because I'm doing out. I'm out and about in the world, but I'm still running the streams. I'm still running the board of parole hearings. I'm still running the court hearings. I normally start at about 6 or 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so that would be Los Angeles time. So just go ahead and check your world clock on your phone. Check the time in Los Angeles, and as long as it's 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., jump over there to YT, and I'll always have something running over there, especially in the mornings. All right? Hey, appreciate that. Appreciate that heart on my head right there. It stopped. What stopped? No sé. Oh, you know what? Hey, my main account, I got to stop it right now because I just got a violation. I'll be back in 2 seconds, okay, guys? My apologies, but it be like that sometimes. I'll be back. And you guys are good. If you guys if you guys are still seeing my video, I'm not talking to you guys. But YT or TT has definitely been on my bumper. They've been cutting my streams a lot lately. So that's why I have the backup account, just in case whenever that happens. The backup account, because
go off the record while you do that so I can do a search warrant.
The backup account, which is the one you guys are on right now, the people from Ireland and the UK, that account for some reason, I'm guessing because it's a different server, it doesn't get affected like the American one. The American one, I'm always getting kicked off. So, hey, appreciate you. Hey, Kelly, Penny, Ann, 2. Let me see right here. Lexia Ren. Let me see. We got, I can't even read that name, but it starts with a J because it has funny characters in one. So it's definitely throwing me up. My dyslexia is kicking in double overtime right there. Let me see. Maybe I know somebody, right? It's Heather J. Let me see. I was watching, waiting for you to get on. Yup. So yeah, so I'm always on, whether, like I said, whether I'm here or not, I'm on, if that makes any sense. And man, like I said, this UK account, I love it. I love it, man, because it's definitely bringing a new crowd of people that normally I wouldn't have access to. So, having this UK account, it was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. Let me see, is Tonka on YT right now? I haven't seen him. it. Oh yeah, I just saw him pop up. He just popped up right now. Tonka, he's on here. We got Tonka. We got Ann. Let me see who else do we got on YT. We got 15 people watching on YT right now. Alibaba, Brandy, Katie. Yeah, we got everybody. I came across you yesterday. Not stopped watching since there. Hey, today was bananas because so. When you guys saw me this morning, I had just got home from work. I got home from work and I started off with some hearings, and then I jumped on the board of parole hearings, and I was like short on sleep. Man, like towards the end, I was trying to nod off. I was about to knock out, but luckily it ended just in time. We did like a 6.5 hour stream strong. Hey, it was crazy. The board of hearings in Connecticut today, it was wild. It was wild to say the least.
Well, I don't see his name on the calendar now. Oh, there it is. I got it. All right, do we have an interpreter back?
Can you flip your camera on YT? What do you mean flip it?
Intérprete español,
Oh.
todo lo que usted diga será confidencial. Por favor, hable claro, oraciones cortas para que pueda interpretar todo. Ready for your instructions?
Okay. We've already started with another interpreter, so I'm just going to tell him what he's charged with. Sir, you're charged with a warrant from Santa Cruz County with theft of means of transportation, a Class 3 felony.
De acuerdo, usted tiene una orden judicial del condado de Santa Cruz. Solamente significa que es una transportación de delito de tercera clase.
They've asked the bond be set in the amount of $2,000. It's a secured appearance bond.
Le han pedido una fianza que se ha puesto en el monto de $2,000 y está asegurado por fianza de comparecencia.
Sir, if you post the bond, you're not to have any contact with any alleged victims or witnesses.
Cuando usted pague la fianza, usted no va a tener ningún contacto con ninguna de las víctimas o testigos implicados.
This
you don't have any
sucks.
contact with any of the arresting officers.
No va a tener ningún contacto con ninguno de los oficiales.
You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription.
No va a poder utilizar ningún tipo de drogas o medicamentos sin una receta válida.
You're not to drive without a valid driver's license.
This is the interpreter. You said that he'd have to drive without a valid driver's license.
He is not to drive without a valid driver's license.
Come on now, interpreter.
Usted no va a manejar sin una licencia de manejo vigente, válida.
And you are to continue to provide the court with proof of your local address.
Usted va a continuar proveyendo a la corte prueba de su dirección local.
Your next court date will be an arraignment hearing on March the 13th at 8:30 in the Santa Cruz County Superior Court.
She's free 99.
Su siguiente fecha de corte va a ser una audiencia arreglada el marzo 13 a las 8:30 en la Corte Superior del Condado de Santa Cruz.
Do you have any questions, sir?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta?
Sí, es en Nogales, Arizona, la corte.
Yes, it's in Nogales, Arizona, the court.
¿Qué? What? I was telling my wife that these translators in Arizona.
Were you able to hear me?
I was. I'm just looking it up because I'm not.
These translators suck compared to the ones in Florida. The ones in Florida, they're top of the shelf.
No estoy familiarizado con el condado de Santa Cruz.
But you know what? The ones from here, from Arizona, I think like they're probably outside of the country and they probably pay them peanuts. So that's why they're not as refined as the ones from Florida. The ones from Florida, they live in Florida.
It is Nogales, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that judge from Florida, she's tough. She's a tough cookie. And she's sassy.
Okay, muchas gracias.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Madam Interpreter.
Next!
Thank you for using our services. Again, this is Helen 40577. Have a good night.
You too.
There's going to be 3 pesos
Please
for
rate
the
the
service.
quality of service for this call by pressing 5 for very good.
0. Press
4
5.
for good.
0. 0 stars.
All righty. Shelby Chavez.
Dade County.
Followed by Mariah Butterfield.
Butterfield?
Your name, please?
Shelby Chavez, Your Honor.
And your date of birth.
8293.
You're here on 2 cases. The first is number 11. It's a justice court matter. There's a warrant from the Moon Valley Justice Court for failure to appear, class 1 misdemeanor.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I had called pretrial when I was released last time, and then they said that the court...
You don't really have to say much.
Hey, thank you for that.
I'm going to release you, so...
Okay, I just don't know.
Speak up and
Okay.
the microphone.
Thanks, Your Honor. When I was released last time, I called pretrial, and they said that that the court wasn't, that the case wasn't being picked up or something.
That messed me up. I was trying to type a message. I'm over here laughing, and it messed me up.
You'll be given a new court date on this. But like I said, I'm releasing you on your own recognizance, so you're not going to be held in jail on this. But on this case, on the Moon Valley Justice Court, you're going to be released on your own recognizance.
He's even laughing at her, too.
At this point, I'm not going to appoint a public defender or an attorney to represent you. The court can do that at the next court date.
Because it's a misdemeanor?
Yes.
Thank you.
But you're released on your own recognizance. You have no contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription.
Thank you,
You're
Zoe.
to continue to provide court with your proof of your local address. Your next court date on this case will be an arraignment hearing in the Moon Valley Justice Court on March the 28th at 10 a.m. Now we'll move on to the 2025 matter, number 12 on the calendar. On that case, you're charged with possessing narcotic drugs for sale, class 2 felony. The county attorney agreed that there was no probable cause at this point on that charge. Also, possessing narcotic drugs with class 4 felony. Once again, the court did not find probable cause as to that count. The court did find probable cause on the other count of possessing narcotic drugs with class 4 felony and misdemeanor criminal trespass. On this case, I have found you indigent. The legal defender has been appointed to represent you. On this case, you're going to be released to pretrial services. So keep in contact with them. The officer will give you an envelope with information of how to contact them. You'd have no contact with any of the arresting officers, no drugs without a valid prescription, no driving without a valid driver's license, and you continue to provide proof of your local address. Your next court date on this case will be a status conference on March 25th and a possible preliminary hearing on March 27th at 8:30 in the Superior Court at 175 West Madison in downtown Phoenix. Do you have any questions on these two cases, ma'am?
No, Your Honor, but I am going to be seeking treatment, so would I just talk to the attorney?
Talk to the attorney and talk to pretrial services.
Judge don't care.
Both of those, all of that.
What your plans are.
Okay. Officer will give you some paperwork.
Next!
Okay, thank you.
Doing too much, little girl. Hey, Zoe, you know what? Honestly,
Miss Butterfield followed by Laren or Laron Lucas.
cállate. Hey, Zoe, you know what? Honestly, I'm not comfortable doing that. You know, asking people for gifts. You know, it's not a requirement. You know, it's appreciated, but it's not a requirement.
Mara Butterfield.
And your date of birth.
06/19/1991.
Okay.
Yeah,
and you've been charged with one count of shoplifting, a class 6 felony. The court has found you to be indigent and has appointed the public defender to represent you. The court has found probable cause as to that charge. You are going to be released on your own recognizance. At this point, you're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You'd have no contact with any complainant or witness or any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. Continue to provide proof of any local address. Your next court date on this case will be a status conference on March the 25th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on March the 27th also at 8:30. It's in the Superior Court at 175 West Madison. Very important you make your court date. You understand?
West Madison? Okay.
Yeah, the address will be on the paperwork the officer will give you.
Okay. Thank you.
Step right over there, man.
Honestly, you know what? I'm more focused on trying to get
Lucas.
Trying to get to 10,000.
Justin Davis.
Trying to get to 10,000 followers so I could get to the creator fund. Like that's my goal right there. Like if I'm gonna make money, it's gonna be off of the creator
Sir,
fund.
please state your name.
LaRon Lucas. Date of birth is 7/24/92.
All right, thank you, sir. Sir, number 3 on the calendar is a 2025 matter. On that case, you're charged with misdemeanor DUI. The court did not find probable cause to that charge. You're also charged with failure to have an ignition interlock device on a vehicle as ordered by the court. That is a class 1 misdemeanor, and the court did find probable cause as to that count. I have found you to be indigent. The court will appoint an attorney at your next court date. You are going to be released on your own recognizance. You are not to drive any vehicle that is not equipped with an ignition interlock device. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. You're have no contact with any arresting officers. Not to have any drugs without a valid prescription, not to drive without a valid driver's license, continue to provide proof of your local address. Your next court date on that case will be an arraignment hearing in the Encanto Justice Court on March the 27th at 1:30. You're also here on number 4 on the calendar. Looks like a warrant on a DUI Class 1 misdemeanor. On this charge, the court can appoint counsel at your next court date. On this case, you're also going to be released on your own recognizance with the same release conditions. Your next court date on this case will be an arraignment hearing on March the 26th at 1 p.m. in the Goodyear Municipal Court. Do you have any questions about these two cases, sir?
No, sir. I appreciate your
give
time.
us the paperwork.
Hey,
Mr. Davis, followed by Tracy Patterson.
it was crazy today. Yeah, like 3K. We got 3K followers today.
Justin James Davis,
It was wild.
5481.
All right.
On recognizance, they're just letting you out without
So you're
having to pay.
on looks like a warrant on a misdemeanor DUI, 2 counts, well, 3 counts altogether, all DUI. The court's appointed the public defender to represent you.
I think New York has night court
The court is going to
too.
release you on your own recognizance, sir. You're not to drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. You have no contact with any of the arresting officers, not possess any drugs without a valid prescription, continue to provide proof of your local address. Sir, if you fail to appear, you're going to be held on a much more significant bond. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right, your next court date will be an arraignment hearing on March the 27th at 1:30 in the Encanto Justice Court. The office will give you the paperwork. Make sure you don't lose the paperwork because that has all the information on it. All right?
Perfect. Thank
Go right over there, sir.
If you're not tapping, you must be
All right,
napping.
next, Tracy Patterson, followed by Joseph Jones.
And you haven't done so, please do so. Hit that follow button. That's what I'm looking to. I'm trying to get to that 6K.
Tracy Patterson, 9490.
All right, ma'am, you're charged with a misdemeanor DUI, it's a Class 1 misdemeanor. The court's found probable cause. I have found you to be indigent. An attorney will be appointed to represent you at your next court date. On this case, you're going to be released on your own recognizance. You'd have no contact with the arresting officers, not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription, you're not to drive without a valid driver's license, and you continue to provide proof of your local address. Your next court date on this will be an arraignment on March the 28th at 10 a.m. In the Moon Valley Justice Court. The information will be on the paperwork the officer will give you. Make sure you keep your paperwork and make your court dates, man. Joseph Jones, followed by Eduardo Vasquez Gutierrez.
Morning from London. What up? Hey, how's it going? Strong.
Sir, state your name, please.
Joseph H. Jones.
And your date of birth.
10/17/68.
All right, sir, you've been charged with a Class 3 misdemeanor assault. The court's found probable cause. At this point, I'm not appointing counsel to represent you. You are going to be released on your own recognizance. You have no contact whatsoever with any victim or witness. You don't have to have any physical contact with the alleged victim or with the arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide proof of your local address. Your next court date will be an arraignment hearing on March the 25th at 9 a.m. in the North Valley Justice Court. Do you have any questions, sir?
No.
All right, the officer will give you the paperwork. Make sure you hold on to it.
Hey, did anybody hear what this guy did?
Can I leave the state in the interim?
Why?
Well, I'm going back to see my elderly father in Illinois.
And will you be back by your next court date?
I would definitely be back before the court date. I was scheduled to come back that day, but I'll come back earlier.
All right, so I'm going to edit the
Thank you, Jay.
release order. Just give me a second.
He's a bad man. How dare he?
And what state are you going to?
Illinois. Chirac, if you will.
Well, 15th to 25th was what I was scheduled.
You better bring his bulletproof vest.
No, I heard you, even though you didn't. I'm going to order that you return by March 24th.
Arizona, Maricopa County, Phoenix, Arizona, if you will. And I know you guys, some of you guys kind of find it hard to believe that the court is going on right now. At the end of the court, he'll normally say 11 o'clock p.m. and he'll also say the date. So that'll put you to rest and be able to sleep well tonight with knowing that this is a live stream, real time. That I'm not faking the funk, and it's not AI generated. It's not chat GBT generated, if you will.
All right, she'll have to print out the new release order. So you need to make sure you make the court day.
I will.
You can have some new paperwork.
Hey, and 95% of the time that you see me on these, they're going to be live. If for whatever reason that's not live, I'll let you guys know. But the majority of the time, I'm running these live. The only times that I'll do it, I'll run it.
I'm going to go off the record for a moment while I work on a warrant.
Class 3 misdemeanor assault is what they charge. Hey, thank you, Johnny. Highly appreciate that. Also, too, if you guys could do me a favor, like I mentioned earlier on, I'm not interested in the gifts, but I am interested in getting follows. If you guys could go ahead and check out my videos, drop some comments and repost them. I'm looking for engagement. That's what I'm looking for. I want to hit the algorithm so we're able to bring in more people, and then this could grow. That's my ultimate goal right there. That's why I don't push like the gifts and whatever. That's not my goal. Let me see. Even when they go off record, we can still hear them sometimes. Yeah, they're off the record right now. So right now, whatever they're talking about, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to allow us to hear. So that's why we can't hear anything. You got it, dude. Hey, thank you, Addie. Highly appreciated that. I appreciated that. Yeah, and it's free. You know what I'm asking for you guys? It's free. I'm not asking you for green dots or sending me money via PayPal. I'm not gonna be giving you a sub story in a week that my car engine blew up on the highway and then I also hit a pothole and now I need four new tires. Practically, I need a new car now. I'm not gonna do that. That's not me. That's not my get down. Like I'm trying to grow this platform, but I want to make my money off a TikTok or YT, if you will. So let me see. Sorry, I'm in and out. Hey, you better take some Tylenol right there to bring that fever down, Lexi. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyhow, hey, if you guys got any questions for me, right now will probably be the best time or the perfect time to ask me. I'll be more than happy to answer them.
All right.
Good morning from Detroit. That's right.
But other than that,
We have 4 that are house calls. Did you want to know what they are?
no, I've got them.
Okay.
All right, so we'll do the telephonic one, then we'll do the house calls.
Okay.
I'll go on the record and put what I'm going to do on the.
Damn, that sucks. That sucks, Lexi. 2 a.m. in Houston.
Excellent.
That's
Let's
right.
go on the record then on the house calls. First, I'm going to do a house call on Angel Hernandez, number 6 on the calendar. The court's inclination is, at this point, is to release Mr. Hernandez to pretrial services. If the court makes a different determination after meeting with Mr. Hernandez, the court will come back on the record. Numbers 19 and 22 are also house calls, Mr. Cuevas. The court's inclination on number 19 is released because the court found no probable cause. On number 22,
Yep, MCSO, yep, you got it.
probation revocation, the court is going to set a bond, initial indication of $1,500. On number 23, Mr. Scarberry, the court's inclination is pretrial services. And on number 5, Mr. Price, he'll be held non-bondable because he was on a felony release at the time.
I'm in Georgia, almost 3 a.m.
At this point, subject to doing the telephonic on Mr. Vasquez Gutierrez and doing the house calls on the 4 matters I've just stated, we're finished with the 11 p.m. calendar. The court will be in recess until 5 p.m. tomorrow morning.
5 a.m., you dummy. Not 5 p.m. He's a dummy. This was saying wrong date now. But did you guys catch that right now at the end when they said 11 p.m.? There it is. Hopefully you guys could sleep good at night tonight hearing that this is real and these people were real. Anyhow, hey, I do appreciate you guys, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and go off the air right now. It's about to be midnight right now. I gotta catch some Z's, but I'll be back. I'm gonna be back at 6:00 in the morning Pacific Standard Time. That would be Los Angeles time, the big 213 in California, if you will. Like I said, hey, I appreciate all of you guys. If you haven't done so, please do so. Hit that follow button. It's free 99. Doesn't cost you anything. Hey, good night, Hot Mess Express, man. I'm telling you, I love that name. I like it. I like that name. Let me see. See you then, Zoe A. Hey, and for my people out in the UK, Ireland, Dublin, Britain, London, I appreciate all you guys. New Zealand, Australia. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, remember when you're out in the underground, mind the gap. Because if not, it might turn into a bad night, if you will. Good night, ADHD_baby. Hey, Michael, peace. Buenas noches. Tita, buenas noches. Let me see. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody. Tonka, buenas noches. Johnny, buenas noches. We got Manuel coming in from the 559 Fresno, California. That's right. Represent your city. And before we go, let's go ahead and get a collect call, roll call going on. Where's everybody tuning in from? I'm curious, wanting to know where you guys are coming in from. Either state, your city, your country, your area code. Hey, I'm from the UK. That's right, Zoe. Hell yeah. Thanks, James, and good night. Yup. We got Tita from Connecticut. We got ADHD from Washington, Ohio, Boston, Massachusetts, Dublin. Hell yeah. Let me see. Mesa, Arizona, Portland, Oregon, Boston, Nuevo Mexico, Belen, Nuevo Mexico. We got Scotland, Philadelphia, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Let me see. Alaska. Damn. Woo. It's cold up there. Let me see. In Alaska, it's daytime all the time, depending on the time of the year. San Antonio or San Antonio. I gotta roll my tongue a little bit better right there. Anyhow, hey, I do appreciate you guys. I am Collect Call James, and you guys are watching. You have a Collect Call From. And like I said around here, life's like a candle. Once you blow it out, it's lights out. And with that, we're out of here. Buenas noches y a rato. See you guys in the morning, all right? All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream right now for, we got, that's right, Eagle Rock 323. That's right. Hell yeah. I'm definitely familiar with that area. Eagle Rock, La Cañada, born and raised in L.A. That was the turf right there. East Side, Arizona, Stephen Ray. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the stream right here on I'm gonna cut the stream on YouTube, but I'm gonna go ahead and get it back up running right now because I'm not gonna be up for the 5 a.m. But I always run these, so I'll probably be up like at 6 or 7 a.m. to go ahead and get the Dade County going. We got the Utah hearings tomorrow morning, and then ultimately the Connecticut hearings, if you will. Oh, you know what? I think tomorrow we're gonna have Iowa. So that's going to be a nice little treat, if you will. All right, guys. Hey, like I said, I appreciate you guys. And with that, I am out.